Australian Airlines engineering, and what the industry quietly lost. How its rise and fall contributed to modern aviation engineering. Australian Airlines is often remembered as a rebrand, a footnote in the broader Qantas history. But its rise and its disappearance says a lot about how Australian aviation actually works. This wasn't a small operator. It was a large, complex airline with around 8,000 staff, with a respected engineering organisation, operating in a rapidly changing commercial environment. And understanding why it didn't survive on its own is still relevant today. Australian Airlines emerged from the former TAA, transitioning from a government-owned carrier into a commercially focused airline. At its peak, it operated a substantial narrow-body fleet, primarily Boeing 737s, serving a dense domestic network. It wasn't a boutique airline. It was a national-scale operation with thousands of employees, complex scheduling, and a major maintenance footprint. Melbourne was home to the main maintenance base, and Australian Airlines engineering had developed a strong reputation across the industry. Engineering and operations strength. One thing that's often overlooked is just how well regarded Australian Airlines engineering was. The organisation had deep systems knowledge, strong maintenance discipline, and a workforce with experience across decades of Australian commercial aviation. From an operational standpoint, this wasn't an airline failing because it couldn't maintain aircraft or manage safety. The challenges were not technical. They were structural, commercial pressure and market reality. The 1990s brought a different aviation environment. Increased competition, yield pressure, and rising costs meant airlines had far less margin for error. Australian Airlines faced the same issues airlines still face today: high fixed costs, expensive assets, and limited ability to absorb shocks. Even small inefficiencies in fleet utilisation, cost structure, or network economics became magnified. The merger with Qantas was not a failure story. The merger with Qantas in 1992 is often framed as a failure, but in reality, it was a strategic consolidation in a market that could not sustain two large, full-service domestic carriers at scale. Qantas absorbed not just aircraft and routes, but engineering capability, experience, and systems. In many ways, Australian Airlines engineering lived on, inside a larger structure. What if Australian Airlines existed today? If Australian Airlines existed today, it would be operating in an even tougher environment. Higher fuel volatility, greater maintenance complexity, less tolerance for inefficiency, greater focus on sustainability. Survival would depend not on engineering competence alone, but on how tightly operations, maintenance, and commercial decisions were integrated. That's the real lesson. The broader takeaway: Australian Airlines wasn't undone by poor engineering or its people. It was exposed to structural realities that still define aviation today. And that's why its story is still worth understanding. This channel focuses on those real-world aviation trade-offs. To learn more, read the detailed blog at Joe Tour Aviation.